Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another City Skyline experimental video where, guys, last experiment we built a city and we tried to see if it could survive once we disconnected it from the outside world. And it took a good fight, but inevitably it started to go on the decline. Because industry couldn't survive, no import exports. That means commercial kind of struggled, and then residential struggled as we started to see more deaths than births. It couldn't handle or kind of flatline the population. It was on a downward spiral. But since I released that episode, a lot of you guys are thinking, yo, Seniac, what would happen if you did it all again? But if you built in the industries, like, you know, the mine, the oil, the farming. Leave me alone, Siri. Siri's trying to listen to me right now. And the ore as well. Did I say them all right? Oh, the forestry. That's the other one, sorry. What would happen then? Because yes, they can't import export, but they can create their very own raw resources. And that made me think. The biggest issue that we had in that experiment is once the industrial and the commercial died, the residential followed. So we kind of got the city, what we created in the last experiment, back to where it kind of was before it started to go on the decline. And let's add in those industrial areas and give it a good fighting chance to see if a city disconnected from the outside world can truly support itself. That is what we're going to find out in this episode, guys. So if you enjoy this, I want to see more fun little experiments like this in the future, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. And if you haven't already, make sure you do subscribe so you're notified when that next episode does come out. Now, the only issue I can see with this is the fact that the industries that I'm about to build, I won't build them too big because it might be a little bit OTT. But I have a feeling that they might die out because they might really need to heavily rely on exports out of the region. But I'm hoping the industrial area and the commercial can buy enough products. So as it stands right now, unemployment's at 37%. So if anything, we could really do with those industrial areas for the job. So first things first then, let's buy some additional areas. So I'm going to buy this area, and buy this area to kind of work with. And what we'll do, we've got 2 million in the bank right now. We'll extend the road that we got up here further up. So we'll bring this up to 110 on both sides. Where's 110 up here? There we go. So it gives us plenty enough room to kind of do those expansions. And I think we'll bring it in. So we did 110 there. If I come back then by 50, which is that 50? Yeah. And then I'm going to go up by 80 on each side. So I can do 2 industries off those 2 roads. So if I come out by 50 here. There we go. So that is 50, right? No, that's 51. That's 58. Oh my goodness me. This is miles away right now. Right. It's just there, isn't it? Yeah, 50. There we go. Come up by 80. Bam. And then I can link these little roads to it so we can create simplistic. Oh, we're going to have to anarchy this one, I'm afraid. I'm so sorry. Simplistic roads that do connect over. So the workers can get to and from these areas fairly easy. I might have to set up a little bit of public transport as well. But we'll just ultimately see how it goes. So after each of these areas, then we'll slowly build each one up. And I'm going to have to put like the raw resources down for each one as well. But they're not going to be huge areas that we kind of set up and work with. It's going to be very, very small. Just enough to kind of make them functional to where we could then start providing, you know, the resources that we need. I'm not going to create like ridiculously sized ones because 100% they're going to die out because they are going to need exports. So let's start with this one with being, let's start with oil on this one. And we need our main industrial building, which we can squeeze. Let me turn the anarchy off, which I can squeeze just on the corner there. We'll drop in now a couple of worker barracks, which is not in the industrial area. Let me just quickly drop that down. That's something that I always forget to do, is paint down the industrial area. So let's get back into it then. We'll drop in 2 worker barracks right now. There we go. We'll do the maintenance building as well. Again, just the bare minimum that we need to kind of get set up. And I'm going to drop in. I think we should gradually grow them. So if I drop in 1, 2, 3 oil pumps, which then will place in the cheapest plants. So we got the one that creates the petroleum, will drop just there, and the one that creates the plastics just there as well. Now, granted, we're gonna have to give the oil in this region. So let me up my brush size a little bit. Right, there's oil all around here right now for these guys, so there is definitely more than enough resources. Bring up the power line as well. So these guys are all connected. And of course, we need to do the water. So a very loose industry I'm creating, but that should be enough then. Has the jobs, tiny bit of like working area or whatever. Provides nearly 400 jobs, so that should be pretty good as a little oil industry. Okay. So then let's set up over here then. The next one. So I think over here we should go with, so if I go quite large there, and I'm going to go up by a double here. So I think in this industry then, what should we go with? They've done the oil. Let's do the ore industry next then. So we got the main building, which I can just drop in. I'll do, we're going to paint the area. See, I always forget about painting the area. There we go. Main building's in. We'll do 2 worker barracks because that's what we did with the other one. And then the simple maintenance building. We'll get, these are quite large, aren't they? But we'll get 3 of these in, the ore sections, and then 1 of each of the process building. The only thing I haven't got in the other one is the storage. So we'll get the ore grinding just there. And then we'll get the glass manufacturing just there. I will squeeze in the storage then. So let's get the smallest storage thrown in. Well, even these small storages are quite big, aren't they? So drop you there. I'm going to have to get the oil industry's storage set up as well. There we go. There we go. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So we're just quickly grabbing the oil industry storage. We'll just go with the smallest one. So this oil industry is tiny compared to the other ones. I'll throw this in just here. Why not? Why not? There we go. Sweet as Pete. Whoever Pete is right now. So I just got to get the power over here. And then I'm also going to have to get the ore down in this area. So there is stuff that they can kind of dig. If that makes sense. So paint the ore down. That will keep those guys happy. And then we move on to the farm here, which we'll set up next then. So, the farm area. Boom. Nice little square there. So, it's not particularly perfect, but we'll rock and roll with it. So, farming next then. The main building, which is definitely a lot smaller. And just got to paint the area real quick. There we go. And then we want 2 worker barracks, which are also fairly small. We got the maintenance building, and then we'll get 3, 1, 2, 3 of the smallest ones, and then the smaller one of each of the flour mill, and we'll also get the cattle shed as well. Now, for the farm, it's a little bit different because we do actually need to get in the pasture for the animals. So we'll go 1, 2. Okay, I can't squeeze in 3 there, but 2 should be enough. So we've gone a little bit bigger for the farm area, but it's because it's a different type of product altogether they're kind of using. And of course, power all the way over. And we need to make sure that we fertilize that land with the green stuff, so they've got the resources to produce. Sweet, mate. Okay, right, nice. Leave that to do what it's got to do. Has it all got power, by the way? Yeah. Did it get water in? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I've already forgotten if I did water or not. And then this is going to be our forestry. All right. So bring this up to there. Bam, and straight down. So the final industry then, forestry. I could do a fishing industry. I could definitely do a fishing industry. But we'll see. Actually, should we do a little fishing industry? I'm going to have to build a little bit of some water in. Yeah, we'll do it. But I'll do it a little bit later. So let's get the 2 worker barracks down then, which these are quite big. The maintenance building, which is also quite big. And then get some of these down. So we get 3 of these down. 3 there. So we just have normal tree plantations. Then we have the sawmill. Oh, I didn't get the storage buildings set up, did I? No. See, I keep forgetting storage buildings. And then the biomass pellet plant, whatever it is, makes paper. Small storage we'll throw just up there. We'll drop down water right now. There we go. And the farming, missed out the storage. It's just, all it is simply is a silo or two. But there we go. That's all in. I got to give this area trees and power, of course. Boom, 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 boom. Right, drop a load of trees down for this little forestry area. Glorious. And they are the 4 main industries anyway. The 4 main industries that we kind of now have. So let them kind of do what they've got to do. We'll simulate it and speed up time a little bit faster in just a moment. But another comment was I didn't have enough services, or the services weren't efficient enough. Now we have a small little clinic down, so I'm gonna drop a big beautiful hospital in. So that will kind of give us a little bit more capacity when it comes to the healthcare side of things. Fire services, we'll drop a big one down. Policing services, we'll drop a big one down as well. Deaf care, how was we for deaf care? We were kind of okay. We got one on either side there, so that's all good. We had the elder care in, we had the child care in, which is all sweet as well. So technically all I'm now missing is doing a fishing industry if I do go down that route, and public transport as well. Now I could get set up a tram line for public transport. I really could, but we'll come to that step in just a moment. Now there's lots of upgrades now happening, and I don't know whether that's the fact that I've got all this kind of new stuff in. But I'm going to simulate it for a little bit right now. Buildings are definitely upgrading left, right and centre. So that completely changes our little town. Birth rate is on the up, because look at the population growth right now. It's going up like nearly... Look at 50. Damn. So just put it this way, guys. 12,000, we'll call that our brand new bottom line before we implemented industries. Let's just say it's 12,000, so we can gauge it going forward right now. Whether it goes up, whether it goes down. But as of right now, it's looking quite positive. There's still a few other things that I need to get done, but it's definitely looking quite positive as we speak. So, they're actually making profit, so there is buyers for the product, and I think as time goes on, we'll slowly add to these industry areas. So where we had 37% unemployed, we now have 7%. So we've took literally 30% off with people getting all these jobs, which is also fairly interesting. So these guys complain about not enough raw materials. It'd be nice to know what raw materials they actually wanted. But it also takes a while for these industries to produce those raw materials as well. But we're ticking along. We are ticking along quite nicely, and we'll see where it goes. The population is still climbing, but I think, yeah, we're going to have to look at doing our public transport network and getting in all the fishing area too. So I'll get that done, and then we'll see where we are. Lots of things have now been changing. I've got a nice little tram line that runs around kind of like the outskirts and comes through the middle of the little city. I've added in my fishing industry. It's very, very basic, so don't get, excited too much. It's very, very basic right now. But they're complaining about there's not enough buyers for the product right now. I do have a fish factory set up over here, and a fish market over there as well, and one just here. So I don't know whether I need another one, or maybe I have too many things that do collect fish. But population has now dropped below 12,000 as we now speak. The commercial is now complaining about there's not enough educated workers. So on the school side of it, we have the capacity. I have the capacity for high school. I have no capacity for university. So let's give these guys exactly what they're craving and what they're asking for. So I'll drop a university. Again, it's going to be on a tram route anyway. So I might as well just drop it like here, for example. There we go. Nice little university there, which would give them the additional education levels that they need to get those highly educated peeps. Not enough raw resources for the print shop here. So it could also be beneficial if maybe we added in some warehouses. Now, granted, the warehouses, it's going to be for generic stuff. So if I get a large one and I place it there and place one there, let's see what we could potentially do with these. So I could store unique factory. I could store I'm going to store commercial goods in both of them. Yeah, store commercial goods and see how that goes and what happens with that. So now literally these are going to get filled up with every industry and all this kind of stuff shipping their goods over. So you kind of get like a false sense of security thinking, oh, you're doing pretty well. But no, they're putting all the goods into these warehouses. But once that finishes, we kind of go back to normal. Now, population has dipped over 1,000. We've lost 1,000 residents in the time that we've set all this up. So yeah, birth rate is not at its best right now. The birth rate is not at its best. 2 births a week. It's just not good, is it? It's not good when, like, 46% of your residents are seniors. There is 0 children, only 3% teens right now. So, shall we try and spark a little bit more childcare and increase the birth rate at the same time? So, I might go a little below TT, getting this done, and these placed in. But it could potentially be what we need to gain and increase the population. So just a little bit of, you know, I'm not sure if they put something in the water to make these people give birth quicker. I don't know. But average health of childcare is really, really high. Only 4 births a week at the minute, which is not good at all. So even with the industry, you can keep the city alive. You can keep it flourishing. All that jazz. That's all good. But it's really hard to maintain the population and the birth rate. That's what we're finding quite difficult to do at the moment. So, birth rate, we've increased it slightly, but there's always going to be more deaths. Now, you could argue, well, make them live longer. But what we're doing is making the seniors live longer. And they can't give birth. So, it's like they're pointless residents for us at this moment. They're all retired, just chilling. Not really adding anything to society. Get them out of here! Just joking, I'm just joking. But yeah, you see there's really not much we can kind of get from it. Now, forestry over here right now. We're producing 5 tons, so maybe we could add it. Ooh, that went up a nice little bit, didn't it? Nice little chunk of change coming in. So maybe I do add a little bit more now to each of the industries and whatnot, and try and get these up and running and working a bit more. And there we go for them. That was our farming, right? Yeah. The farming actually had quite a bit of stuff anyway, didn't it? It's producing 15 tons already. So that's doing well. The ore industry, I could do with a little bit more as well. That really could. Now, I don't know whether I go down and place like stuff like this down, which seems quite excessive. I don't know, but we'll throw it in. Does this fall? Oh, wrong button. Within the ore section. There we go. Now it does. Oil. Make it a little bit wider and bigger around. Oil, oil, oil. We'll do the same for this. Get some big boy drills down. In the hopes it might spark. Well, it definitely give a few more jobs, but I was hoping it sparks some additional stuff. Why have we got the traffic flow up there? Get away, boy. Get away. But we've now lost over 2,000 residents. So, like I said, it's difficult to even maintain the population. Full stop. You are constantly relying on new people traveling in and out. There's not really much we can do about that. Now, these warehouses are, well, this one's like 70% full right now, nearly 80% full. So, they're not even selling it anymore, are they? Not really. Now, they are asking for more commercial in the demands, which is probably due to the industries creating as much product as they are. So there's not really, I can't really do much about that. I got some high density commercial. That's the only thing that we don't kind of have right now, is the high density commercial. So what if we encouraged a bit of growth? Let's bring that right down there. And maybe cut that through. So a bit more growth on the high density commercial side of things. Now these are not all going to have water. There we go. It's on the tram line there, so it's really good. They can kind of travel to it. Now I'm not saying that this is going to cause all the upgrades and spark everything that we kind of need to kind of stay alive, but it's what the city's demanding. Now I could place down more residential as well, seeing as they're asking for it, but it's like, are you sure you really want it? I mean, the birth rate is not there. So I don't know why they're asking for more housing. But if that's what they're asking for, shall we just give it to them? Yeah. I think so. So we'll turn this little area here then into, we'll do high density residential. Because for some reason they're requesting more housing. Now I don't know how that's going to work, because no one's going to be moving in, really, are they? Unless, right, unless they're like, we need more housing for all the babies that we're going to provide you. Yeah, right, you ain't providing me with babies right now. Then again, 23%, well, 23%, 23 births versus 25 deaths. It's an even flat 30-30 right now. We do have 3% children, 2% teens, 5% young adults, but the majority of them are senior. The population could be dropping also as well, because it's just all the seniors dying out from when we originally moved everybody in. So that could be a thing. Our new residential we just dropped down. There is actually people now living there as well, and we still have a little bit more of a demand. So if I fill up all these little bits and bobs, all these little nooks and crannies with the residential there, and see how that kind of goes. But I'm not saying it's going to bring us new people in, it's just we're giving them more options for them to live. Like someone moves out of there. So if I just pick a random building here, 18 out of 24 houses, 17 out of 26. So none of them are actually filled up to the brim. It's always a little bit more. A little bit more. But without the population is now starting to grow again. Oh no, it's dropping down again. It's dropping down. Right, we'll let this simulate for another 10 minutes, and then we'll see where we're at this point, and see if we actually have increased, because we might not have reached our flat line yet. We might not have reached it just yet. So it could continue to go down, or truly we are fighting a losing battle. Soon. Like we really are right now. 8,000 residents, and I've never seen the decline in numbers as big as that right now. If we view our actual population as an overall in the city statistics, population changes. There we go. So we went up when I reset everything back to normal, because that was at the end of the last experiment video. Then I brought everyone back in again to give us like a solid working start, and it's just dropped. It kind of like plateaued out a little bit, dropped, then it kind of went steady, but then dropped again. So it's not really going too well. The birth rate is fluctuating all the time. Again, that's when we brought everyone new back in. It went down. The birth rate did increase, but it's on the decline again. And the death rate is just going up and up. Now, that is mainly down due to, we do have quite a large, nearly half our population is seniors. So there's that. Maybe it's just, potentially waiting out for them seniors to all kind of go. And then with these children and teens coming through, it might keep us running with the population. Again, I just don't know where the plateau rate bottoms out, where that number is going to be. But what I do know is we are dying fairly quickly. fairly quickly right now. Oh, and the water has died out too. Oh, snap. Is it slowly evaporated? Well, let me pause. Let me drop that down slightly. Add my own water source. Hopefully I don't flood out this area. But there we go. That's hilarious. I didn't even notice we had no freaking water. Did not even notice right now. But that should be good enough for those guys. Get the fishing industry back up and running. Losing lots of money, but it's a good job I got 2 million in the bank right now. It's a good job we got that. And these forestry stuff, they're going to be dying out as well because they literally just don't have enough workers. So we kind of find a losing battle at the minute. And it's just a case of maybe just waiting for all the seniors to officially die out. Because then we do have a 5% population of teens, children, sorry, then teens and young adults. Which they will grow into adults and then have their own children to keep us going. It's just that big senior rate at the minute. Because at one point we would have had that 45% in adults, in young adults, teens and whatnot. So, we'll see. We are still constantly giving birth. The moment we don't see any new births coming in, that's when you know, okay, it's all going downhill at the moment. It's all going downhill. Industry's completely died out. Some of the commercial is now starting to die out. The big industrial areas are going to be dying out as time goes on, but they still want more residential. It's like, how much more have I got to give you, folios, right now? There is nothing more to give. So I'll drop a few down in some really strange, awkward locations. Do they have water? Yeah. Because that's what they're asking for. That is legit what they're asking for, but we're now down to, we've lost half of our population. And it's still going down. So truly, we truly are. Well, we truly can't sustain a population. There is no ifs or buts about it. Unless for some miraculous big turnaround that's going to happen. Now officially down to 4,000 residents. We've got to get rid of those seniors. I mean, it's putting in a good fight. It's definitely putting in a good fight right now to try and be self-sufficient. Oh, we're getting a population growth? Oh, no. Yeah. Wait, have we bottomed out? No, it was too good to be true then for a second. What's our population like anyway then? So we've got rid of the majority of the seniors, which are now all adults. Teens and children are on the up. Unemployment is definitely down. But even though them numbers are up, the only reason those numbers are now 11% and 18% is because our seniors are down. So the law of averages, when it kind of works it out, you know, it could still be the same amount of children. It could be like 100 children, but that population percentage has gone higher because there's less seniors. So I don't know. Or we're actually having a population growth again. Yes, boys. Yes. I think we've Yeah. No. It's gone down. Yeah. It's gone back down. We are. It's not good. I don't want to say that this is the bottom. And now we truly are fighting the up climb again. I don't know. And I don't think we'll ever get to the population of 12,000 again. It might be a little bit more difficult or impossible. You just never know. But 41 births, 27 deaths. You know. We're back down to, we're going to go below 4,000 very soon. We definitely are, because it's trying to fight itself. It's going. I think we've bottomed out. Let me check these city statistics right now, real quick. So death rate, birth rate, on the up. But I'm more interested in population change. So we had a drop, flattened, a drop, slight flatten, drop, slight flatten, drop, slight flatten, and it should now technically drop again. That's what it should do from the previous past experiences with how this city is kind of run. So we'll see. We are getting close to dropping below 3,000 population, and if it does drop again right now, it's following that pattern of flattening, dropping, flattening, dropping, flattening. So we're never going to be winning. I think we have to accept it. We have to accept it, guys, as it did just drop below 4,000. There we go, 3,000. we're going to have to accept it, that a city cannot self-sustain itself without an outside connection, which is actually a shame, because I would have loved for this experiment to work. I really would have, because it can completely change then how you build a city. But the fact is, you're always going to get more deaths, because if you think about the logistics behind it, I bet you this is how the game works. Someone is born, and there's a 50% chance that that somebody will give birth. Now, with those odds, let's just say 1,000 people are born, and only half of them give birth, which means it will up the population by 500. But then them 1,000 originally born then die, and there's 500 remaining. I reckon that's how the game works. But what keeps the population climbing or stable is the fact that you do have an outside connection, which people immigrate to your city. And that's how the population stays up, or potentially new zoning and new demands bring new people in. Maybe. I don't know. But as I say this, we've now gone back up to 4,000 residents. So we'll simulate another 10 minutes now for me. And we'll see where we're at. And I think in another 10 minutes, we'll have a defined answer to whether we're still going down. So it's been another 10 minutes, and ultimately the population is dropping. I think the smaller the population gets, the slower the drop becomes. Because we're now at 3,700. Long gone are the days of 4,000 residents. They really have. So we keep getting these moments where we get the population boom, but then we have like a big drop after. If we check out the city statistics right now, then you can see how it's now starting to... The drops and plateaus are becoming a lot smaller, but the downward spiral is continually happening. Birth rate, it goes up, then it goes down. It's just the age at the, the people are. And death rate, it's dropping a bit, but it does go up and down. Not really much we can kind of do about that, I'm afraid. But I think there's your answer. Even with industries, you still cannot support a city. It's always going to need that outside connection. So let's put an end to this. This city has suffered enough. Let's drag... That's a one-way road, Seniac. God damn it, you damn folio. Upgrade this so they can also exit as well. And let's spark some life back in to this city, hopefully, and get the population back to where it once was. Guys, hope you did enjoy this little mini kind of, even though it's only 2 episodes, little mini experiment with 2 episodes of can a city survive once it's disconnected. The answer is it can, but it can and it can't. It can't, but it can. For you're gonna bleed it dry. It just dies. It does die in the end. But holy moly, does it put up a fight. But guys, we're going to end it for here. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, good.